Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. What's on my desk? It's just going to be like a little Sunnyside Quickie. I've got to do a little bit of work in As You Like It. The text block is officially in. I'm happy. Here's all our cheesecloth hanging out for the world to see. I love it. And it is time to put our end papers in. So they're going to look like this. So that's going to go there. So that actually ended up being a nice width. I'm not going to have to trim any off. And then the pocket is going to go on top. So what I'm thinking is I actually want this a little grungier. I want it a little dirtier. This sketchbook sort of has a foresty theme, and that's way too clean. So I'm going to do my arrow front, and that means I need this side inked, just so I don't forget, because I'll start inking this unnecessarily, right? It's going to get covered by the pocket. So let's put the book away from anything dangerous like inks and such that I could end up making a mess on my beautiful new end papers and book and all that. So I want this side dirtier. I want this to look like somebody, maybe the artist went in to do some plein air sketching and forgot it in the woods by accident, and it was out there and getting kind of mucky before they went back and retraced their steps and found their book. That's what I'm envisioning. So I'm just grunching it up a bit more. I guess gathered twigs is a good name for the ink to use on a journal such as this. I am going to be also getting started. I'm not sure whether it's today or not. I promised myself I'd work on some personal artwork today. But I did want to get this part done, and that's why I thought, oh, I'll turn on my camera for a little Sunnyside Quickie. I don't know whether this will take 30 minutes or not. It could end up taking 30 minutes, and then, you know, then I could have just called it a normal name, as if that all really matters. Anyhow, that's looking better. I want a bit more of a round shape to the ink, like this. Liken it. Oh, get it? Liken it. Lichen. One day my son told me all about lichen. I didn't know about lichen. And our new, well, it's not new anymore, our maple tree that we planted in our backyard, Josh was over and he's checking it out. Our maple tree's name is Doug because he's a maple leaf. Get it? Dougie Gilmore? Doug? Well, maybe only Toronto people. Maybe Toronto people would get that. Anyhow, Josh was examining Doug, looking him over, and he said, Doug's got lots of good lichen on his trunk. And then he went on to explain to me why lichen is a good thing. Oh, that's better. I think I want a little bit about here to peek through where that where this little notch has been cut in. All right. Let's see. Because it's going to get, if you think about it, it would get filthy from the owner putting things in and out of the pocket, right? So I also want some along here. It's going to get grimy and grungy, papers going in and out and what have you. Let's see. Yes, that's better. A little bit more right here. All right, let's see. I think I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, now I want to do that on the other side. So this is the back. So if that's the back, that means this part needs to be inked. So now I can save myself a whole lot of trouble and just know to do a rectangle here. I'm going to pause and do that really quickly. You don't need to watch me ink all over again. Okay, so they're looking more foresty, more to my liking. Looking nice and dirty and grungy, and the squirrels are happier, I think. So it's time to put them into their new home. This part I love in putting together a junk journal. This is the part that I think is really the most transformative, because, you know, when the book's closed, oh, that looks nice, you know, because the cover's pretty. And, you know, this all looks nice, but until you get those end papers done, like this, oh, you know, it's not as pretty. Let's move my glue. I've got it on its side, ready to get going. So this is a stage in making a journal out of an old book where I really prefer, sorry, I'm just taking these threads off just to, this paper is quite thick, but I still don't want any, I just, you know what, why not remove them? I don't want extra bulk or that doesn't have to be. There we go, that's better. This is the stage that really, really transforms the previous life that this book had into what the new stage of its life is going to be. And this is the stage where I absolutely prefer an acetone-based glue. So the two that I know for sure that I like are Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, both by Beacon. I can't tell the difference between them. Most everyone I know who uses both of those glues, they also cannot tell the difference. So I buy whatever is lesser priced. Beacon also makes a poster glue that seems very similar, but I haven't had the courage yet to try their poster glue in something that's really important. I wonder if I've got a bottle here so I can show you. Oh, yes, I do. Foam and poster board adhesive. So it says it works on foam board, poster, and cardboard. And this will sound weird. I like that it says highly flammable, because that tells me that it's got acetone in it. It contains acetone. I suspect that this will be just terrific to use anywhere I would have used Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1. Same company, Beacon. I opened it up to do some test swatches. That's why this plastic is in here, because I closed it back up and I knew I wasn't going to be using it possibly for a few weeks, and I didn't want any evaporation. Acetone-based glues will evaporate and thicken up on you. Anyhow, I'm holding off until I have to put end papers into a personal journal that's just for me, so then I can see how well I really like, how well it holds. So I'm going to move this out of my way and just, I'm going to go around the edges with, this is 3-in-1 in this bottle. I find where I live in Canada, you know what, I don't want to hang that over there. Sorry, I hope I'm not too far out of camera, but I don't want by accident to glop some glue onto that lovely front page. So I find where I live in Canada, 3-in-1 is always significantly less than Fabri-Tac. And I'm actually finding lately, I used to be able to get Fabri-Tac and 3-in-1 at my local Walmart, and it hasn't carried it now for a couple of months, either one. So I'm a little worried about that, because my Walmart was always my best price for it. Better price for me than Michael's, and better price for me than Amazon. Way better price than Fabricland. Fabricland is, of course, sounds like what it is. It's a fabric store here in my area. And I went there one day. I wanted to get some fabric for my daughter as a gift. She likes to make hammocks for her. She has pet rats, and she makes beautiful hammocks and jungle gyms for her rats. And so I went to pick out some new fabric for her to make hammocks out of. And I noticed that, of course, they had Fabri-Tac there at Fabricland. Makes sense. And I went over to check it out. It was our regular sized Fabri-Tac that we like. You know, it was, no, it wasn't this big. It was the one that was this size, I think. Which usually this bottle I get for, it's a lot more up here, $17. This bottle is usually $8 or $9. They wanted $40 for this at Fabricland. I actually told them, I said, that's got to be illegal how much you've marked up that glue. I told her, I said, do you realize that I can go to Michael's or I can go to Walmart and get that exact glue for 1/4 of the price you're trying to charge customers? And the managers just basically shrugged her shoulders, and she said, head office tells us to list it for that price. And I said, well, that I think that's criminal, because there might be some new sewers in and thinking that that's their only option. There we go. Sometimes I find, and I'm not sure why, it can depend on the paper I've used, whether I've used wrapping paper that I've adhered to cardstock. This is just a very lightweight cardstock, and it's laying down nicely. I don't see any reason to put bulldog clips on here. And I just as soon leave well enough alone and let the 3-in-1 do what it needs to do. So there, that looks nice. See what I mean? How I saved myself a whole lot of time. I don't need to ink that because this is going on top of that. Right there. And, oh, here, see, I wander off topic so much. Another reason using the acetone base is purely because it dries smoother, because there's no water to be absorbed in and make your papers buckle. I tried that once. I thought, oh, I'm going to use PVA to put down my end papers. It was awful. I actually ended up having to peel it all off because it did try and glue down, but it was gluing down like this. It was awful. This smooth that you have now, that's the way it'll stay. It's just lovely. So it's worth it. If you live in an area where that's an expensive glue for you, just be choosy about where you use it and use your other glues. You know, if you're gluing something with paper and you need it to hold, you know, then use your art glitter. Again, really, really expensive. If you're doing something else that maybe it doesn't need to hold so much, go in with your glue stick and maybe just use art glitter around the edges where the corners might want to just come up. Or else go in with your tacky glue, you know, whether it's Aleene's or Elmer's. Sort of plan out your, triage your glue. There it is. Triage your glue so that you can save your expensive glues for the important tasks where you don't want buckling, and save your art glitter glue for the important tasks where you need really, really super good paper holding. Art glitter glue is just the superior one for papers and cardstock, you know, paper type materials. So I'm still going to use, I think I could go in with art glitter glue for this because it's mostly paper on paper now, but I'm going to continue to use my 3-in-1, just because, like I said, I will get a nice, there won't be any buckling whatsoever, and there's just that little bead of thread that I put in. So I just want it to be as nice as possible. And sometimes I find for a tiny little area that needs to be covered and there's thread there, sometimes that can interfere with the art glitter glue. So I'm just bringing that up to this edge here. Give it a little press. And there we go. That looks nice. I'm happy with that. Let's see. I'm looking down. Sometimes you can go too close with your end papers into this hinge here. And you'll notice that your end papers will start trying to curl out. And that's a nuisance. But I've given myself more room between the first signature on the cover and the last signature on the cover, purposefully, so that papers can get tucked in and thrown in. You're in a hurry, you've finished your urban sketching and you just want to get going. You know, you could throw another booklet in here and you'd have room to close it. Or also, if you've decided, you know what, I'm painting in this book anyways, your papers are going to warp and buckle a bit. If you use watercolor or gouache or acrylic on just sketchbook paper, because this is not watercolor paper, it's just sketchbook paper, and it's not even optimum sketchbook paper. This is just a fun book. So anyhow, what's going on here? Oh, you were trying to have a party while I wasn't watching. All right, hold on. Let's get that off of there. There we go. I have to go to the library and pick up some books that I put on hold. It's been at least 2 years since I've done that. Pick up a book from the library. I watch an artist's channel, and now I can't remember his name because I just recently started watching him. He does a lot of urban sketching. And he did a quick little YouTube video. I'll try and find it in case you're interested. He did a quick little YouTube video on the 5 best books he had read that year. So I thought, oh, I'm interested. And he talked a bit about the books and why he enjoyed them. And 2 of the books rather appealed to me. So I went over to Amazon, and sure enough, Amazon had them. But they were almost like $30 each, these books. And then I thought, hold on, our libraries should be open again. So I went online. Sure enough, my tiny little local branch, we do not have a big library here. My tiny little local branch had those 2 books and had them on the shelf, which is also amazing to me. And so I reserved them yesterday online, and this morning I'm going to go get them. I got an email this morning. It said your books are ready for pickup. So yay, very excited about that. Oh, Okay, I'm going to leave that. Do you see what's happened here? There's a little blop of 3-in-1 glue right here. And I'm going to do my best. I'm not sure how I got it there. Could have just dropped a little droplet of it. It's very tempting to go, oh no, and wipe that off. Leave it alone. Just leave it. And if you're lucky, when it dries, you can just take a soft eraser and it'll roll right off. So I'm not even pushing where that is. I'm going to push around it to make sure that this is well adhered. And I will let that dry. There we go. And let's move it out of the way so I don't do that again. Sorry if I'm off camera, and I probably am. I apologize. I'm just gluing around the edge. It's pretty goof proof. I'm looking for a Q-tip. I just want to, I've got a big glob there that I don't want it globbed on me. You're really, usually if your 3-in-1 glue starts doing that, the glooping and globbing out the top, it means it's time to add a bit of acetone to it and thin it down. So I'm actually going to refill this. I'm going to add a bit of acetone to it and I'll be good to go. So I'll probably do that after I get back from the library. And before I get buried into 2 new books. Yay! And they were female authors. Oh, I liked that too. Just sliding that into place. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just looking. I love this grunge. Some people might say, oh, that book wasn't worth redoing. I think this just, I don't think I could replicate how cool that grunge is artificially. It's just, that's magnificent to me. All right. And yet again makes this, this grunging up that we did this morning look even better. Oh yeah, that's nice. Where's a little card so we can play with this a bit? Here, let's try this. Yep. Very nice. Happy girl. Now, let's see if this is dry, because it usually dries quite quickly. There it is. All right. Let's get out our eraser and see if we can pull that up. Usually, in this case, I'll get out my nubbly eraser. These are actually... you can get these at Dollar Tree in their little craft aisle. And it's just, they're not the best eraser in the world, but they are really great for taking off. Yep, it's gone. So let me show you. Gone. As my granddaughter Audrey would say, gone. She used to say that when she couldn't explain anything. The hand would go over her shoulder and she'd say, gone. Audrey, where'd your cookie go? Gone. Audrey, where's your toys? Gone. Where'd your clothing go, Audrey? Gone. So the glue is gone. There we go. So happy. All right, so if I get nothing else done today, I know I got that done. Woohoo. But I am going to get some stuff done. I am going to get started. Maybe not today. I forgot. I promised myself I'm doing artwork today. I am going to make a journaling board to go in the center of this. And I'm going to use, do you remember this book? I got it last week and I pulled all the papers out. And because it had really nice papers left in it, but the cover is just nasty looking. But this is really good chipboard. So I am going to cut this down to size so that I can put a journaling board inside. So don't worry, I'll do it on camera, and it's really not that hard. You just cut it down to size, finish the edges, and then do whatever decorating on it you want to do. But we will do it together. Anyhow, so it was a Sunnyside Quickie this morning, not 30 minutes, but 25 minutes. That's not bad. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon. I'm off to the library. Bye.